People have opinions about everything. I just see it like this. Your kid's gonna be eating dirt. My son ate feces when he was 9 months old, his own, and the dog's, and they're gonna be eating McDonald's and drinking alcohol later. So really, does it matter if you start them on solids a few months or a few weeks before 6 months? Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Thanks for tuning in. Super excited about this video because Kingsley is starting solids. Well, in actual fact, Kingsley is 4 months old, just turned 4 months old, and we started her on solids 2 days ago. Now, I haven't actually prepared any foods for her, so that's what I'm going to be doing in this video, and feeding her some of my home prepared foods. All I was doing the last 2 days was trying her with some avocado and banana. So you really took well to that, didn't you? You liked your food. Yes. There is a lot of controversy around starting solids at 4 months of age. So I obviously did my research before I made my decision. And at the end of the day, we all have different ways of parenting, and we all might have different opinions. We all might have different opinions, but you just have to do what's right for you. I started my 2 older boys, now they're 9 and 7, on solids when they were 4 months, and they took to it really well as well. So on the internet, basically it just says that babies can start solids after the age of 4 months, but they shouldn't start solids before the age of 4 months. And this is because their microbiome is not properly formed before the age of 4 months. This is also why you see colic slow down a lot at 4 months. And this is because it takes around 4 months for a baby's stomach to fully develop. The thing that I did when Kingsley was 2 weeks old was put her on a really good probiotic. So that just helped mature her stomach to the point where I believe she's ready to start solids now. So if you're new here, my name is Courtney, this is Kingsley. Thanks for tuning in to our video, yes. For those of you that have already subscribed, thank you and welcome back. So a few things that you want to make sure your high chair has when you're starting a baby on solids at 4 months old is a few different features that are required of a 4-month-old that you probably wouldn't necessarily need at 6 months. So excuse the, do I have a big pimple? Please excuse the state of the high chair at the moment because we're just washing the padded part. But this high chair, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have a high chair with this adjustable button to adjust the posture on it. Just because a lot of babies at 4 months obviously can't hold their heads up still or struggle to do so. So you're gonna want them on a decline just of about 30 degrees so that their face isn't flopping forward and their head's not bouncing all over the place. Kingsley, however, can actually hold her head up quite well. So this feature probably does irritate her more than anything. Another thing I think is beneficial is some buckles. Buckles, we got them, are they there? Now, as you can tell, we haven't used these buckles because they're hidden. We haven't needed to use these buckles with Kingsley, but they are there. And again, if your baby is, not maybe holding its own body weight up or maybe is a bit floppy, depending on what time of day it is as well, it is a good idea just to put those seat belts on, make sure that baby's sitting upright. Like, you are not sitting upright right now, girl. This is not great feeding modeling, okay? We're just chilling right now, so I'll let you sit there for a minute. So the name of the probiotic that I put Kingsley on when she was about 2 weeks old and have been on ever since is Kyan. Now, I think you can just pick this up in most Australian pharmacies, probably every pharmacy, but I know that you can pick them up. If not, just go on their website and check their stock lists and it will show you where you can pick this up in a location near you. Now, it's not the cheapest thing. It's not the cheapest probiotic you can get, but it actually was backed up by a lot of different research and
a lot of people suggested this one as being the best. Another thing that I wanted, maybe not for now, but definitely when she's about 6 months old and she's grasping a lot more, is these suction cup bowls, so that the baby cannot start grabbing and like fly the plate off with all the food on it and everyone gets dirty. My son, they weren't really around when my son was born. Both my children were born. So this is really great, actually, in my opinion, because just, accidents do happen. And this one really, unless you're like, it's not coming off. And a bib. These bibs are the best. Again, not really necessary for a 4-month-old because you're actually feeding. So she's not really getting extremely messy, but especially later on in a few months' time, I really like the bibs that are waterproof and you can just wipe them down with a baby wipe, and also with the long arms because, their arms are flying everywhere, and it just really helps if they're just covered basically really well. So these bibs were only like $4, I think, each, and that included postage. So I'll leave a link down below for all of this stuff in case anyone's interested. Are you interested? Not really. A few apps that actually I've been using lately that I recommend are, okay, so one is Advent Easy Weaning. Are you okay? Yeah, you don't like that? You don't look very comfortable. Yes, so Advent Easy Weaning, that's the first one. And now that just gives you recipes and how to prepare the food, stuff like that. The other one is called Solid Starts. Now that one is really great. I highly recommend these. These are free apps. They do have some sort of subscription to them, but not necessary if you need this information. They have the free service is more than good enough. Now this one actually tells you specifically in a graph like, Venn diagram type thing, how to prepare the food. So if you're starting at 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and so on, and they'll have little pictures of how to prepare the food. So for example, it will say puree at the start, or it will say like little chunks, and then it will show you the size that the food is meant to be. Now, this has really been a lifesaver because it's been, since I had my second child, it's been a good 7 years and I forget a lot of things. So yeah, this app is really good and really handy, and I suggest you go on the App Store and get it. Plus it's free, so that's pretty cool. Don't really have a plan of exactly what I want to put together, so I'm just going to make it all, pop it in the steamer, and then once it's all done, I'm going to put it all together and see what flavors I would personally like myself. Afterwards, I'm going to pop them in these little individual serving size containers so that they can easily be frozen in the freezer. So in the bottom I have the pumpkin and the sweet potato. Then we have broccoli and a handful of spinach. And cauliflower, carrot, and what is that called again? Swede? I have no idea. Anyway, it looked healthy. Cheers, babe.
Cheers, darling.
To an afternoon wine.
Yes. Well deserved. Okay.
Yeah, I've been a bit of a, what would you call me?
Beautiful wife.
No.
Darling wife.
You
Absolute
told me,
joy.
You told me when you went out to the back shed, try not to have an aneurysm in the next 3 minutes.
And you didn't. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. It's the small wins in life.
It's taken me 4 hours to make baby food today.
Okay, well, you've set a pretty low benchmark. Tomorrow should be better.
Tomorrow should be better.
Anyway. Okay, so So the food is ready. That's basically ready. Now I'm going to get the food processor and we're going to blend it together with some cool boiled water. Just a little tip, I'm sure everyone knows this already, but don't use tap water. Yesterday, I was making her banana and it was thick. Was it banana? No, I was making her avocado and it was like really hard. Anyway, I put it in the blender and obviously nothing was really happening with it because it was just so thick, it wasn't moving. And I accidentally put tap water without thinking. So I had to chuck all that out and do it again. So obviously babies under the age of 12 months shouldn't be having tap water. They should be having cooled, boiled water. Isn't that right, sweetheart? Yes, she agrees. So note to self, don't mess up again. There we go. So we've pureed that so there's no chunks. There's a few little chunks. I'm just going to leave them out so that she doesn't choke on anything. Fill these containers. And then continue on with the rest. Quality time with Dad. Quality time with Dad and his phone.
Writing a list.
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of controversy around, obviously people all have their opinions, as I said before, about what you should do, and people have opinions about everything. They're like, you know, bum holes. Everyone has one. And no one really needs to see or hear anyone else's, to be quite honest. So I get that. But in saying that, I just say it like this. Your kid's going to be eating dirt. My son ate feces when he was 9 months old, his own, and the dogs, and they're going to be eating McDonald's and drinking alcohol later. So really, does it matter if you start them on solids a few months or a few weeks before 6 months? Like, it just doesn't matter to me. And she's doing well. It's by no means going to replace her bottles. I always make sure she is offered her formula first, and she's had, you know, a substantial amount of that. It is literally just an extra at this point in time, and it is basically just so that she can get familiar with different tastes, and yeah, and it's working for us. So, you know, I think you can put so much thought into everything, every aspect of parenting, and you just don't need to in this regard. Like, obviously, yes, put thought into how clean, you know, your utensils are, make sure you're sterilizing things, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, unless it's an allergen food, I just say mix it all up like I did today, to be honest. And see what they like. I haven't tried her on meat yet. That I will stay clear from. I didn't want to give her too many fruits. That's one thing. I didn't want her to... Fruits are really nice. They're sweet. And what kid doesn't like fruit? So, of course, she's going to take a liking to fruit over vegetables. So I did give her banana yesterday, but I want to sort of stay away from that for a while, get her on her vegetables first and get her familiar with them and accepting them before I introduce more fruit. Okay, so done. So that'll do her for 2 weeks, I'd say. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19. Yeah, that'll do heaps. And that's a lot of food. But I overcooked, as per usual. Anyway, at least it's there, it's done, it's fresh. Alright, so I've labelled them with today's date so that I do not lose any in the freezer and not remember how long they've been in there for.
Can I feed her? One?
It's hard to feed her. You can feed her one, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
At the end. Let's get at least try to have some first, and then you can have some at the end.
No, like the end. Landon, come back.
Like in 5 minutes after she's had
Come down and watch. You haven't seen her eat before.
Oh, I want
Are you going to put your arms in or not?
Yeah, put your arms in.
Is that avocado?
No, that's not. Mummy made that. That is broccoli,
Soup? No.
sweet potato,
Easy to do after you
cauliflower,
got in, is it?
spinach.
Can I feed her?
At the end, we'll just try and give her a few so she actually eats a couple, and then
Yeah.
she can, in case she decides she doesn't like it after she's been.
Look at her. She looks like she's ready to take off.
There you go. Why is it sticky?
Even your here, Bindi. Crikey's. All right. You want to eat, darling? Look at you. Look at you, such a big girl now. She won't open. Like, you've got to... There you go.
Ooh.
That's probably too much, maybe.
Hey.
No?
hard to
You
get
ate
just
it?
Hard to get just a little bit. No, she's spitting it out.
A bit. Not all. Like it or not? Yeah.
You like it. Yes,
Do
you
you
like
do
it.
this? Or
Oh, you like it, darling? What are you doing? Ah, hello, baby. That's a good. You swallowed most of that one.
putting her tongue out.
Yeah. It's too. If they're too big, she'll spit most of it out. But that's okay.
Look, I'm eating too.
Do you want me to show you a video of when you first had food and how much you were screaming?
Can I just give her?
You can give her one little bit. But Mummy picked the wrong time of night to feed you. I fed you at like 5:30. See, we did her early so she doesn't get too tired. Like, yeah, that's all. See, she got a little bit in. That's all you need to do. She doesn't need too much because she'll choke.
That?
Yeah. Oh, don't do that. No. Go.
Okay,
No, you got to turn your TikTok off. Thanks for tuning into this video. We hope you got something out of it. Sorry it went a bit haywire there in the end. Please tune in to the next one. Big thumbs up. Lando. Yes. And we'll see you soon. Bye.